This is a full Grande Sonnerie clock made by Christopher Gould, and very little is known about his origins. He was admitted to the clockmakers company as a great clockmaker, and that means a tower clock maker, and that was in 1682. He took on 11 apprentices, and one of those was John Gould, son of Charles Gould of Middlemarsh in Dorset. So the association of the names, it's assumed that he was taking on his nephew and that he originally came from Dorset, but that's conjecture rather than proof. Although Christopher Gould was a fabulous clockmaker, he fell into hard times, and in 1706 he was declared bankrupt, and from that time on he suffered many misfortunes, ending up applying as an ale taster. And then he had a regular pension from the clockmakers company until he died in 1718, 5 years later. So he was a wonderful designer and maker, but not much of a businessman. This beautiful case is a funny wood. It's called mulberry wood, but it didn't come from a mulberry tree. I understand that it was made from a white apple wood, a fruit wood, and then it's dipped in nitric acid, which brings out the grain, and then it has lamp black soot pushed into the grain to give this wonderful picking out of the structure of the wood itself. So all the detail is to the latest fashion. The rounded moulding here is all cross grain, and you've got these wonderful stringers of very less than a millimetre of ebony, then just over a millimetre of the white boxwood, and another one of ebony to pick it out. The cross grain again here, and you can see the crack. You can see the cross grains part of the carcass here and the vertical grain on the main part of the door. And really it's only just held together with glue and the veneer on the outside. When the shrinkage takes place over 300 years, the shrinkage is down this way and in this way, and so that there's big strain across the joint, and that explains the crack on the face of the veneer. The veneer on the door has been put in as a bookend, and that's to describe the mirror image of the two with a joint down the middle where the veneer has been cut. Even the brass hinges are made a feature, coming out in front of the case, and the pin going through has little finials on the top and on the bottom. The dial of this Christopher Gould clock is just overpowering in its features, and it's difficult not to end up with just too many superlatives. But what a face, how it blends. It's not only a collection of its parts, but they all fit together. The magnificent clock was made towards the end of the 17th century in about 1695. And now it's starting to have the latest fashion for the ringed winding holes here and the ornamentation to make a bit more interest into the centre of the dial. And even the centre of the seconds dial here with the little finger is ringed to match in with the winding holes. And the ordinary fleur-de-lis with the half-hour markers, but instead of having a wheat ear border, he's got a double wheat ear border. And the spandrels here, well, they're magnificent, aren't they? A little cherub in the middle with all his paraphernalia surrounding him. And at the very top of the dial here, you have a no-strike lever so that you can switch off the peal of bells on the quarters and the hour strike. You can switch it off so that it's quiet overnight. and his signature down here, Christopher Gould, Londini, fake it. And the wheat here has been left blank just to get his wonderful signature in there. It's a magnificent dial. I mentioned that this was a full Grande Sonnerie clock, and that means that on the hour it strikes all 4 quarters and then the hour. At 1/4 it strikes 1/4 and the hour, 1/2 2/4 and the hour, and 3/4 of the hour at 1/4, and so that every hour you get exactly the full time. Most striking clocks at the quarters only strike the quarter, and you have to know roughly what the time was to decide which quarter it is. So when we get to 1/2 here, the clock will strike the 2/4 for the half hour, and then it will strike the hour itself. There it goes. 1/2. 3:30. At the 1/4, we get 3 peals of bells and the strike. Three quarters. And here we come up to the hour. Four peals of the quarter bells, and now the hour. Full Grande Sonnerie.